If you've been following my channel for a while, it probably means that you have a deep infatuation towards Flyff like me, whether it's in the form of retracing the steps of your childhood after a decade, or recently discovering the hidden gem through the release of Flyff Universe. However, given the very grindy and spending heavy nature of the game, you might find yourself somewhat unsatisfied with the game despite finding the concept itself fun and original. Maybe you've thought that if the game was designed differently, perhaps it would be a lot more fun to play than it already is. That's where private servers for Flyff come in. Deviations of the original game redesigned by individual developers or development teams, where they bring their own ideas and thoughts to life in a playable format and share it with other enthusiastic members of the Flyff community. Despite being on a much smaller scale than the current Flyff Universe servers in comparison, they still amass a dedicated player base of a respectable size, and are in fact one of the main reasons why Flyff has managed to stay relevant after all these years by offering new and refreshing ways to enjoy the game. And in this video, my intent is to share with you some of the best that the private server community has to offer right now with the Giraffe seal of approval. If you happen to be new to Flyff private servers, there's a couple of things that you should know. Firstly, these servers are built around Flyff PC and not Flyff Universe, which means that there is no option for multi-platforming and they are exclusive for PCs. Many of the mechanics that you might have grown used to in Flyff Universe will not be there unless re-implemented, such as self-buff autocasting or the new dungeon system, and these are played from physical clients. Second thing to note is that any antivirus software that you may use might consider these private server clients to be red flags. This is a common issue with Flyff private servers in general, as we're dealing with a custom client for an old game with very little audience, so most software will consider them suspicious. Most of the servers are totally fine and will not damage your PC. I personally did not find myself in any danger after trying all these servers out, but please allow exceptions to your firewall at your own risk and stay safe. Due to a particularly high demand from you guys, I spent many dozens of hours trying out the research in various private servers of different kinds so you don't have to, identifying their individual strengths and focus points for different types of Flyff players to help you with discovering the server that's best suited for you. I've also managed to collaborate with all of the servers presented in the video to offer special rewards if you discover the server through me, so if you find yourself intrigued by any of them by the end of this, by all means don't hesitate to go and give them a try. I'll explain how the rewards for each server are received towards the end of each demonstration. For this video, I prepared 5 different private servers that I felt like are worth checking out going into 2025. I've evaluated each server based on the amount and depth of available content, activity, accessibility of information such as wikis and explanations of custom mechanics, free access of content, and how polished the server itself feels. Despite doing my best with sticking to neutrality, there's bound to be some personal bias as to what server stood out the most for me, and I'm very sorry if one of your favorite servers doesn't happen to be listed in this video. Private servers are generally divided into 3 rough categories: low, mid, and high rates, which in turn reflect how high the EXP, Penia, and drop rates are in comparison to the official servers. My own take on it is that servers with rates up to 100 times are low rates, up to 1000 times are mid rates, and anything above is a high rate. The servers in this video are shown in a specific order, starting from low rates that are closer to original Flyff gameplay, towards high rates that offer much more customized content. The presented order has nothing to do with which server I think is the best, so feel free to make your own judgment on which interests you the most. I think that's enough explanation to get you started though, so let's get into the video. If you're looking for a twist to the original Flyff experience while not straying too far from home, there's a good chance you might enjoy Neonara. Neonara is a newly released low-rate server that aims to deliver a classic but reimagined feel of the game, offering a revamped system where Penia is primarily earned through killing monsters rather than selling gear, and character resource pools have been simplified for less consumable clutter and adapted to be useful at any level. Equipment sets and weapons both come with customized stats, and all equipment drops come with random primary stat values based on the built-in rarity system, ranging from common all the way to legendary. This feature is complemented by a highly modifiable pet filter system, which allows you to decide what rarity items you want to pick and whether they're for your class or gender to tailor a grinding experience best suited for you. You pick your class immediately during character creation, and there might be some additional restrictions placed on which weapons you're able to use. The skill system has also been revamped, automatically unlocking skills in their maximum potential without the need to assign skill points. As master leveling is also removed from the server for a more streamlined leveling experience, master and hero skills are also integrated to be part of the skill trees at later levels. There's a bunch of different resources that you can grind, such as Neonara coins, Wheel of Fortune tickets, and Remnants of Giants, which are all used to obtain different goodies and even special equipment that you can't obtain from anywhere else in the game. Some of the currencies are simply created from monsters, while some are obtained exclusively through occasionally spawning world bosses, event monsters, invasions or instances, creating a surprisingly complex and multi-layered PvE experience. Neonara is also dedicated to maintaining an active scene for PvP and encourages it by offering a bunch of unique rewards with red chips. And in order to create a balanced environment for both PvE and PvP, the awakening system, which is restricted to only 3 lines per item, doesn't include HP and stamina awakes, but survivability can be improved through tanky sets instead, that apparently will be obtainable through late game dungeons. Restats are also made to be fairly cheap compared to everything else, enabling flexible reassignment between PvE and PvP when needed. If you happen to also like collecting, there's a bunch of different achievement titles that you can obtain and even an entirely dedicated system for collecting Pokemon through the opening of Pokeballs, as well as a Pokédex where you can keep track of all the Pokemon that you've registered. You can upgrade and evolve them with candy found in Pokeballs and even have an option to use them as pickup pets instead, but that requires you to tame them through an item that at the time of writing is only available through the donation shop. Registering the Pokemon in Pokédex is free though, and will grant you a badge that you can display next to your character name. Despite Neonara being a new server in its early strides, it has managed to attract a massive audience and its developers have promised to progressively deliver more content for many months to come, as well as optional grinds for especially eager PvE players, so you won't run out of things to do. If you'd like to give Neonara a try, you can register through my custom link in the description below, or by writing Emenalus in all capitals in the referral code field as you register to obtain some extra goodies to kickstart your adventures in Neonara. We hope that this will help you catch up with the vanguard who got a head start on launch, and that you'll enjoy the gentle new pace of Flyff. Are you searching for a server which seamlessly brings together PvE and PvP while making them twice as epic? Dragon Crusade is a significantly customized low-rate server that has been around since 2019, offering a completely new way to enjoy both PvE and PvP in unison endlessly. It takes you to a world where the 2 dragon factions, Holy and Blood Dragons, are at odds against each other, and you decide which side you're on during character creation. You then embark on a journey to both improve yourself and the keepsake that proves that you're one of the dragonkin, the Dragon-Cloak, which increases in stats as it grows alongside you. And once you reach the maximum level of 150, you can keep on improving your character through a prestige system called Dragon Ranks, which paves the way to stronger sets of equipment and tougher dungeons, putting your newfound powers to the test all the way until Dragon Rank 200. Despite Dragon Crusade's focus on providing a highly polished experience enhanced by custom maps and soundtracks, one of the most outstanding things about Dragon Crusade is that everything is still grindable, even donation coins if you're hesitant to spend. The donation coins can be used to gain access to an extensive library of wardrobe items which can be conveniently accessed through the remote wardrobe system across the entire in-game account, amongst other practical things such as different durations of premium status, inventory expansions, and world buffs. Dragon Crusade doesn't keep anything important within the confines of a paywall, making the server very accessible to players of all commitment levels. Talking about the in-game accounts, if you don't fancy registering multiple emails for the sake of having multiple accounts, Dragon Crusade also allows you to have up to 15 in-game accounts tied to a single website account for convenience. Dragon Crusade also features a unique system where all the dungeons which you have met the minimum level requirement for are always accessible regardless of how overleveled you are due to their scaling system, eliminating the necessity for making dungeon farming alts and allowing you to focus on your main. You can even adjust the difficulty level of dungeons to match your own preferred level of challenge in the party menu. Weapon drops come with variable stat parameters, which can then be rerolled and improved with the weapon reroll system, and any spare weapons that you loot can be used to create essential reroll dust and Zampania, rendering nothing that you drop useless. As I stated earlier, the players are split into 2 factions, Holy and Blood Dragons. While this doesn't mean active world PvP, there's a dedicated battlefield called the Dragon Realm that opens up periodically on a daily basis, allowing players of both factions to fight each other and build and destroy each other's statues, which grant buffs to the faction which has them active. Overall performance of both factions in these battlefields affect their rating, granting the leading faction bonus EXP and the losing one extra damage. Your own contributions can be redeemed in your faction space for quick teleports between dungeon bosses for faster clearing, or faction buffs that only your comrades will receive after reaching a certain reputation level. On top of the faction-exclusive buffs, there are also the world buffs that I mentioned earlier, anarchy buffs, and community-driven lore buffs that everyone receives to spice everything up. Various currencies earned from both PvE and PvP, amongst many things, are also used for the simple but relevant power-up crafting system, which are generally available in limited supply and useful for most activities. All of these systems combined ultimately create a deeply connected system where all in-game features are relevant to each other in some way. Dragon Crusade relies a lot on its seasonal server releases to keep its community active, and during off times the servers aren't all that active with players. Unfortunately though, it just happens that Season 12 is going to be dropping right after Christmas on December 27th, which promises a progressive content release timeline with consistent updates over several months, with possibilities to partake in regular PvP tournament events, and even surpass progression limits with the hardcore leveling mode for the most enthusiastic grinders. Characters are then merged into the main servers after the season is over, so don't worry about losing progression. It'll all be saved. If anything, it's the best possible time to go and try out Dragon Crusade in its full potential. You can also get extra rewards to help you get started through me. Simply open the promo code window accessible from the options menu or when you log in for the first time, write Emenalus in all caps in the writing field, and you will get a special reward box containing more power-ups than regular player promo code, along with the Dragon Cloak level 4 that'll get you through the early levels quickly. This doesn't prevent you from using any other player promo code afterwards, so make use of this to stack up on more power-ups. If you're also interested in supporting the server, you can use the code Emenalus in all caps to get a 10% discount on any donate coin purchase limitlessly. Both me and the Dragon Crusade team wish you'll have a great time playing on the server and that you'll make the most out of Season 12. Are you an enthusiastic PvE player in Flyff and wish to take it to the next level? No, to the absolute maximum. If that's the case, then there's absolutely no better server I can suggest to you than Mystralia. Complete with loads of custom quests, dungeons and zones, a massive list of achievements that can get you generous rewards, and an incredibly deep and intricate crafting system which allows you to craft pretty much anything as long as you farm the resources. If that already caught you drooling, get a hold of yourself. The zoomies haven't even started yet. Mystralia is a low to mid-rate server which focuses its attention in PvE, allowing it to offer content completely unique in comparison to most servers. Combined with its stunning, carefully crafted visuals and a well-polished exterior, it's one of the hidden gems that will most certainly catch your eye. What makes this server stand out gameplay-wise from the rest is its equipment system. Instead of the traditional 4-piece armor sets, weapons and accessories that are often separate, Mystralia allows players to obtain gear sets that have an unified effect. And when all the pieces are together, the collective benefits are massive. Items can also come with different rarities, which significantly improve the stat bonuses that each piece of equipment has. Getting all 10 to 11 pieces of the set together can be a difficult task, especially since equipment tiers aren't directly connected with one another, but serves as a foundation of also making each aspect such as dungeoning and giant hunting in the server much more meaningful. Different set parts are usually found in various locations. If we take the level 60 set as an example, the armor pieces can be found from the dungeon accessible at that level, the jewelry from giants, and the weapons can be crafted. To make the early leveling smoother and not get players stuck due to bad loot, you can also craft all the set pieces from 60 to 105, also known as the mythical sets, as long as you have the resources, the reward crafting level, and a blacksmith specialization. Quite impressive, right? Allow me to explain crafting better so you understand what I mean. Crafting becomes available to you as soon as you start the game, and you can choose your character's first specialization free of charge. You can become a blacksmith, a druid, or an engineer, whereas blacksmiths collect raw minerals and craft equipment, druids collect plants and craft potions, while engineers collect scrap and craft other functional items. You can start leveling your crafting by recycling spare equipment that you collect from monsters, and then crafting items with your existing resources once you reach the required level. These resources are either gained from recycling, defeating giants or bosses, gathering, or buying directly from the NPC, which again emphasizes the importance of every element in the game. This is by far the most meticulous crafting system I was able to find across all the servers I tried, and my neurodivergent monkey brain fell in love at first sight. If it's a deep and complex crafting system that you're looking for, this is the server for it. If these extraordinary sets and intricate crafting mechanics aren't enough for you, everything can also be upgraded all the way to plus 20, allowing much more room for improvement. If that raises concerns over the server being possibly pay to win, don't worry. Mystralia only sells various upgrading scrolls without any exclusive benefits, and the scrolls themselves are either directly available for purchase, craftable, or farmable. Nothing is stuck behind a paywall aside from some cosmetics, which you can buy to support the server. Giraffe masks are free, however, so don't miss out on the opportunity. If you don't like spending, Mystralia often hosts GM events and bigger events on occasion, which can offer great opportunities to interact with their tightly knit community and obtain generous rewards. Mystralia's also got a lot of custom quests to offer while you're leveling on top of your classic hunting quests, both with modified and satisfying rewards. They're not there only to distract you, but to also reward the player with glyph shards on occasion. You start with the beginner glyph, which grants you a minor boost to all your base stats, but you can have your glyph upgraded at the World Boss Manager NPC found in Flyff with the glyph shards that you gathered. As you can guess from the NPC name, There are also world bosses that you can fight against, which spawn periodically several times a day, and you can even be notified when one spawns in their Discord server. In return, they drop heaps of glyph shards and world boss scales, which are crafting materials, along with hefty amounts of penia. These tend to require a higher level to participate in though, so questing is a great way to get started with your glyph. Don't also forget about your achievements while you're adventuring. You can earn achievement points through various activities which can then be used to redeem nice rewards through the achievement shop. Your character can even gain various permanent stat boosts by killing enough monsters of a specific type, making achievement hunting more meaningful than in most other servers. If you ever end up lost with anything, Mystralia also offers a wide coverage of different wikis in-game to help you out. For example, introductions to the custom systems, help to discover quests you've missed or where to find a certain item, or even the detailed search tool for monsters or items that are dropped by them. You can always find everything that you need to know about a monster by searching them up and clicking their names to open a detailed information panel about their drops and drop rates. The drop rate calculation even factors in any active drop rate boosters, giving you an accurate value at any time. Mystralia also offers the convenience of allowing multiple in-game accounts under a single website account, reducing the amount of emails that you'll have to register if you enter the multi-box. If you're interested in trying the server out, don't forget to redeem a special present from me. Head to the donate store through the menu and write Emenalus with a capital E in the coupon code field to the right of the store. You will receive a reward box containing a bunch of power-ups, useful tools, and some temporary flair to remember me by. Combine this with the giraffe mask from the mask store, and you can give everyone else a new terror to fear. We sincerely hope that you'll enjoy the adventures in Mystralia as much as I did, and wish you the best of luck. Looking for an active server which has a versatile selection of activities for both PvE and PvP? Prologic Flyff is a long-running diverse mid-rate server which has something to offer for just about everyone. Whether you enjoy farming monsters and dungeons, endgame progression, PvP activities, or perhaps even all of the above, you won't be disappointed. Prologic Flyff might seem like a simple server on the surface, but ultimately presents you with a lot of things that you can do as you dig deeper, in addition to featuring plenty of convenience and quality of life mechanics to allow a comfortable experience for just about any player. What makes Prologic Flyff stand out is definitely its focus on making farming as fun and diverse as possible. You can find NPCs for many kinds of currencies all over Florine, and each of them give unique rewards that can be beneficial, cosmetic, or perhaps even both. Many of the cosmetics that Prologic has are custom too, so you fashion collectors out there will be in for a good time. You can find these currencies from regular monsters, ticket farming zones, inside dungeons, and various PvP games such as Guild Siege, Clash, and FFA, so there is plenty of reason to give all the systems a try. They've even reintroduced the Fly for Fun coupon system, which some of you may be familiar with from Flight PC, which they've repurposed to help new players with their starter equipment. Farming itself is incredibly satisfying too. One of the unique things about Prologic is that AoE attacks have a lot of range, easily several times over their usual radius. Pulling or even one-shotting a group of mobs has never been easier, and especially for maps that are specifically designed for farming currencies, the feeling of power is incredible. Assuming that you don't get yourself killed in the process. And if you happen to be farming parents, the loot history on the left side will give you an estimate for how much you're earning per hour, as long as you don't stop farming. Additionally, a part of Florine has also been renovated to be a landing site for some of the most commonly farmed dungeons, along with their respective exchange vendors which you can use to collect the materials on, as long as you meet the other possible requirements. One of them tends to be world boss tokens, which are obviously dropped from world bosses that occasionally spawn in a server. The max level in Prologic Flyff is 150, and after that you can rebirth your character up to 10 times in exchange for some penny and monster kills, starting over from master level 60 and catching up to 150 again. In return for each rebirth, you get defensive stat bonuses that will be useful for running dungeons later on, and it's even a requirement to enter some of the tougher ones. There are several dungeon tiers to go through, which will be really hard without the best available gear, and later on the equipment rarity rerolling system will become a big part of the experience as well. Farming Lionheart Lair, Parents, and collecting all play a role in getting all the gear pieces to their maximum rarity level, Ancient, which offer massive additional stat bonuses important for preparing your character for endgame. Prologic Flyff has a few items such as some statted fashion sets and materials in the donation store that aren't directly grindable in the server, but its daily roulette mechanic allows players to gain access to donator exclusive content through voting without spending. While this might not be ideal, there's a fairly active player market around to also work with if you struggle to get something that you want, and many other items that you can get can still fetch a good price to help save up for your desired item. There's also a good chance that by the time you really need something from the store, you have the necessary qualifications to be farming plenty of parents on your own. If farming with multiple characters isn't your cup of tea, or you don't want to immediately resort to having a buff slave following you around, Prologic also offers its players advanced support buffs through their super buff packs, and has also revamped its food items to give much greater amounts of health, viable all the way until endgame if you feel like it. If also making characters of different genders just to appease the couple system isn't your thing, Prologic has reworked the couple system into a comrade system, which offers the same benefits as before, but comradeship can be unisex. And if you ever get lost with the game, there's plenty of farming and feature guides available in both their forums and Discord server whenever you need it. You can get some special rewards by going to the donate store and by clicking the redeem code button. In there, write Emenalus-vip with only the first letter capitalized to get 4 scrolls of 12-hour premium and Emenalus-cloak to get an exclusive cloak of the night sky, which gives a slight boost to all your stats, speed and HP. Mind you that these rewards can be claimed on only one character on one account, so choose the recipient character wisely. We hope that this will get you well started on your journey, and that you'll have fun in Prologic Flyff. Entropia is an extremely customized high-rate server that completely revolutionizes Flyff as a game, to a point where you might even consider it to be its own standalone game while still holding other recognizable characteristics. And no, I'm not kidding. In Entropia, leveling from 1 to 175 is like blowing a fart in the wind, but instead you are pulled into an engaging prestige system, a progressive endgame grind which makes your eyeballs pop out even further than mine, an entirely reworked upgrading system for their endgame content, potion crafting, and even new sub-activities. If that seems too good to be true, then you're in for a surprise. When you reach max level, your first task is to start running platinum levels, which are essentially your prestige. This can be done by using platinum level scrolls that you are provided with at the start, and by going to monsters with a corresponding platinum level, or P for short. You can easily discover through the teleporter system which area you can find them from. The grind is initially fast and easy, but the EXP gains become slower the higher you go. This can be supplemented with various different EXP boosting consumables that you can find in the game either through alchemy, will boss hunting, the thriving player market, or through daily rewards. Platinum levels can go pretty high, even to several hundreds with enough commitment, but P50 is the point where the enemies which you can grind levels from will stop and progressing further will become slow. However, Entropia has been around for about 6 years now, and their latest content patch from 2023, Mystralia, featured a system which included another prestige system called Royal Levels, or RL for short, and reaching P50 and completing an advancement quest allows you to access zones where you can start running RL. Up until this point, the experience is what you'd most expect from Flyff, but the addition of Cardia and the new content along with it is what makes this server truly special. Entropia has completely reworked how upgrading works for the new royal equipment that was added in this patch, Royal Darkness and Royal Blood, where instead of the usual chance for upgrading an item with a catalyst and a protection scroll, you instead collect the variety of resources that you need to grant the item EXP, which will eventually lead to an upgrade level. These resources are generally gathered from enemies in Cardia, but later upgrade levels seemingly require you to also run the server's current endgame dungeons. Cardia also introduced all new gathering systems to Entropia, gathering gloves of herbs and a pickaxe for minerals that can be found all around the island. There are dozens of different kinds in total, and they're important for crafting the new booster items, for example things that would increase royal EXP gains, HP, or damage. The resources can also be used to upgrade the gathering tools themselves to increase their yield. There's also tools that are tied to some minigames, such as an upgradable shovel that's used for treasure hunting, where you look for a treasure based on a clue found in an obtainable clue scroll, find it, and dig it out for rewards. Then there's a fishing rod which allows you to catch different kinds of fish for various extra stat boosts, provided you have bait which is procured from running more endgame dungeons. All of this is just the new Cardia content alone, and there's already so much that you can do before you even get there. There's a lot of dungeons that you can run, a completely redesigned jewel setting system where you get diamonds of different types and levels from running almost any dungeon. You can recycle the ones you don't like into new ones, gather resources that you can get from mobs even if you can't beat the dungeon boss and get guaranteed loot from an exchange vendor, bonus stat rolls on looted equipment, a recycling system which turns your trash loot into parents, item upgrading all the way to plus 20 on everything, several world bosses that spawn on a daily basis, platinum level milestone rewards which include exclusive jewelry sets, race pets, and even Entropia chips that you can use to get starter gear, statted fashion pieces and other cool stuff, all new guild buff system, PvP guild sieges and free-for-all rumbles, which you can either attend with your own gear or in battleground mode where everyone can choose any class and play with a pre-designated set of gear, guild monster clashes, a revamped couple system, a wardrobe, create custom maps, and even freaking shaders! And it's all free! Look, I could literally spend the entire half of this video explaining all the content that this server has in detail, but I don't think I will. There's simply too much new stuff to introduce, and I simply cannot do it. Do you believe me already? And I'm not sure if I even mentioned all of it. If it sounds awesome, then go and try it out already. They have a very detailed wiki that's easy to navigate for any systems that you don't understand, and even a beginner's guide to get you started, so you should be fine with discovering the rest yourself. And as if I couldn't sweeten the deal enough, I've been granted some really generous rewards that I can share with the community. I have several promotion codes which I'll be performing a giveaway for, some of which include bonuses of red diamonds, Entropia's own donation currency, and even 2 royal level boosts that allow you to skip straight to royal level 6 and get your hands straight on the all new Mystralia content. There's also a couple public promo codes that are valid until 2025, so go grab them while you still can. You can use the codes by logging into the Entropia website, clicking on management on the right side, and then clicking the promo code button that you can see to the right in the new page. If you'd like to join the giveaway, there will be a link to a form that you can fill in the description below, in which I'll be collecting submissions for until the 13th of January. I'll draw winner numbers by random and send codes to winners by email, so make sure you've written your emails correctly to be eligible for rewards. If you happen to be a lucky winner, please respond to my email so that I know that the code has been claimed. For any rewards that haven't been claimed by the 20th, I will be drawing new winners for leftover prizes, so any unlucky ones, please keep your eyes open just in case. That's it for all the servers that I've got for you today. I hope that at least one of these caught your fancy, but in case they didn't, I hope you'll keep enjoying yourself in the official servers or in another game. In any case, I hope that you found the video enjoyable. Thanks to all of the servers who willingly collaborated with me to make this video just a little more special, but my special thanks goes to you, dear viewer, for supporting my content all this time. I originally didn't intend to make this video, but since so many of you wanted this from me, consider it a Christmas gift from yours truly. But this will really be the last Flyff video that I'll be making for now. Don't worry though, that doesn't mean that I'll stop uploading videos altogether. I'll be working on releasing an update video regarding where I'll be taking my channel going into 2025 soon, so if you're eager to know more, please stay tuned for that. If you'd also like to be more in touch, don't forget that I also have a Discord server. I might be often too busy to start conversations, but I'm always reading and responding to messages. I'll leave the link in the description for those who are interested. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, stay wild, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I hope to see you on the next video. But until then, it's bye-bye.